All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another podcast with Investing Education Academy. You have Leon Noble and myself, Brent Simpson. Today, we're talking about I'm not going to say the elephant in the room, but we all know what's going on in our economy right now and with our administration as a whole. And so, with the Musk administration in full effect, the Trump administration in full effect, um, people are looking at what are the other options in general. Like, what are the other options for work? What are the other options for where I live? What are the other options for where I invest? What are the other options for where I travel? Where do I vacation? Like, this is the moment where people want options. And with that, recently, I want to say recently, about 3 years ago, Leon and I took our first trip to Ghana, West Africa, and it was eye-opening experience. Like, we learned a lot about the landscape. That some things we knew, some things we thought we knew until we got there and realized, look, it's a lot more to know. But we found this out: you do have options. Also, IEA, at one point in time, we went to Morocco to look at some deals in Morocco, and these landscapes have lended themselves well to helping us understand where are the other places where people are investing. Now, we know you have Panama, you have, Costa Rica is exploding. Belize, Portugal, I think is one of the top rated bases for people, expats, to go to relocate to. And then you have South Africa. I mean, just there are more options of what we're going to talk about today. Today we're talking about Ghana. So before you all start sending us text messages like, "Oh, this place is the best. This place is the best," we believe you. We may not have been there, but we believe you believe that. So today we're just choosing to talk about Ghana because that's where we've gone. So Leon, do you want to tell them about anything from the trip that you wanted to kind of let everybody know?
Yeah, I mean, I've Brent's been back multiple times. We went my last time was there was last February 2024. Been twice. Brent's been 3 or 4 times, back and forth. So I mean, like you said, eye opening, right? So to see that, like, and then like I said, there's options. So we know people, and from when we were there to even now. So our first trip was there in 2022, and since then. We know people that invested then, and their properties, actual structure, like a home that they bought, has appreciated 20, 30, 40%. Like the real estate boom, especially in Accra, Ghana, the main city, is insane. Like it's almost like an investor's dream. And then who knows how long this will last? But it's like you literally buy something. It's kind of like it was here, in the during the housing bubble in mid 2000s. You buy something, and then 2 3 years later, you're up 20, 30, 40%, in a couple of years. So we're seeing that right now in Ghana, especially in Accra. What's also happening is that Accra has become so crowded because a lot of people want to move there, or buy there, invest there, that it's starting to spread out. So the property that we bought is about 45 minutes outside Accra. We bought that in 2022, and we're up anywhere from 30 to 50% on that. It is beachfront property we bought. So as Brent said, there are options outside of the U.S. stock market, outside the U.S. real estate, where you can get very good returns. Oh, and the other thing, man, the exchange rate in Ghana, you can go there. Like when we were there, it was like what, 9, 10 to 1, Brent.
Yeah.
I think now it's maybe a
No,
little
the first time we went, it was 5-1.
5 to 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we first touched down, and I think by the
2022.
time
Yeah.
we left, before we were on the plane, it was 9-1.
Right. So we were there 2 weeks in 2022. But like Brent said, it was around 5 when we landed. By the time we left, it had almost doubled, which means the value of our money almost doubled in Ghana, which what we can purchase there. So
Yeah.
what is it now, Brent? Is it 13?
14, 15.
Yeah. So that means just every US dollar there, every US dollar, $1 here is worth 14 of their currency. So
It is.
that bodes well for us because our dollar goes a lot further in Ghana than it does in some other places.
So, with that being said, this is a picture of a neighboring property to the property IEA owns in Ghana. Is you can kind of see, if you look, the beaches to the left. If you're listening to the podcast, it's a view of the property being measured, and to the left of that property is actually the ocean. And so, there's so many opportunities right there. And Leon was 100% right, because Accra, the main city, has become such a target place for people to invest. The interest has moved out to places like Tema, or if you're looking at East Lagoon, if you're looking at Abreu. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. So, but that's in the mountains. And then you have places like Prom Prom. It's so many other places than just Accra that you can invest in. However, there are those people putting those videos out on YouTube. We see you all talking about you were scammed. You know, you never were able to get your indenture. Real estate doesn't work the same way here as it does there. It doesn't work the same way there as it does here. It works both ways. So if you're looking at getting land and you get an indenture, you know, to us, that's it. It's over.
Well,
But there you still have to get
explain what an indenture is.
indenture is kind of like a receipt that you purchased land, but it comes in this really beautiful package that once delivered, you think, oh, this is everything. And most people from the U.S. or I say from the diaspora who are, you know, doing deals in Ghana particularly may get an indenture packet and think that's it. They have represented ownership of the property, but it's not 100% transfer of ownership yet. It says that you made a purchase, you paid the money, the intent is for you to now own it, but you still have to go and get that registered. And so to do that, you have to go to the Lands Commission. The Lands Commission then takes your indenture, kind of confirms it to what they have in their files, physical files. So it is, you're not walking in and going to see everything digitally laid out. It's not happening.
Oh no, they got cabinets, like old
Yes.
school cabinets. When you pull the drawer out, yeah.
I mean, that's why when you go there, you have to, number one, have the right expectations. Two, you need to have a team. So you know, we have, you know, shout out to Aquia. She's a realtor in Ghana that we use, and then we have attorneys there. Shout out to Emmanuel, and then we have a driver there. Shout out to Daniel. These are people who Leon and I probably interact with every time we go. And then if you have ever been to Pebby Beach restaurant, you will have met this guy, BK. So BK is also, shout out to him, in Pebby Beach restaurant.
And real quick, Pebby Beach restaurant is one lot over from the lot that we bought. So what we're looking at here is Brent and BK likely right on the beach, which is right behind the restaurant, which is on the back of their home. So literally where our property is, one plot over, we have a full-fledged restaurant that we can go to anytime.
And this is Daniel. This is us at the restaurant.
Yep,
so,
that's the restaurant. Yep.
You know, these are people who I would say at this point are friends and also business associates of ours in Ghana. Now, what I want to do is I'm just going to run through kind of like a little picture. What would you call it? Just picture gallery.
Picture gallery
of some of the things that we've done in Ghana. And the reason why I wanted to do this is to show you, you know, what's really happening there and what we've been into while we were there. So this first picture, and I suggest anybody listens to the podcast, you just want to go to our YouTube channel to see this because I can't describe each picture. So go to Investing Education Academy on YouTube and you will see the actual pictures associated with this conversation. This is a property right now being built up by Dre Taylor out of Missouri. He's now lives in Ghana. He's relocated permanently and he's building an entire community out there. This is in the hills of Abreu, beautiful hills in Abreu. And you're talking from an investment standpoint, if you were to purchase one of his properties, maybe in January, December, November, you're already looking at about a 15% increase in the profitability or the value of that investment. This is what it looks like. If you want the details of these, please contact us. I can't go through each one and tell you everything, but it is a very well designed, energy efficient house that you can get in the mountains of Abreu with an amazing view. This is us kind of having a conversation about what the future plans of his property and developments are going to be in Ghana. Again, if you want to know more, I would say contact us. This is the interior. So as you can see, it is beautifully laid out. It is quality craftsmanship and it is extremely comfortable. I'll say on this particular day, this is me walking to the property. If you can see in the back, we got lost in the mountains and we didn't know how to get there. And we decided some places I wasn't comfortable taking the car. So we decided to walk. So yes, my feet are dirty and we still need to make it all the way over here. But once we made it there, this is what we walked into. There was no air conditioning on. Only thing we had going was a ceiling fan, and it was extremely comfortable in there because of the type of construction he did when building this particular unit. So the investment opportunities are here, and also in this townhouse, the bottom level, he's now producing these with apartments connected to them. So you can either have access to the apartment as another, bedroom, or you can use it as a rental property if you chose to live there and still produce income. Similar to what we're seeing in a lot of the cities like Baltimore, DC, where the people own the top levels and then they sublet the bottom. So you can completely cut off the bottom and sublet it, and it's producing income while you live at the top. It's just, again, me. This building in the back is it's a very iconic condominium complex, apartment complex in Ghana. And it is designed so each person might own a particular unit. So where this laid out, you see how it sticks out like Legos kind of?
Mhm.
Or what's the thing when you put the
Yeah,
blocks?
some of the game where you pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I forget the name.
Jenga. Is it Jenga?
Jenga, I believe.
Okay, if it's Jenga, it's Jenga.
Yeah.
But anyway, each one of these is like kind of like an entire floor is somebody's condo. I think it's split in half, so it's 2 people on each floor. But these are being rented out. It might be 4 people on each floor. But the point is, these things are being rented out. They're extremely stylish. They're very investment friendly. And the way they run the buildings there is that once you buy, so they don't have like the Marriotts or the Hiltons like we do. They build these apartment buildings and people buy the apartment buildings and then they rent them out, like Airbnb style. So that is kind of equivalent to like a hotel. So if you're there, this building might have all different owners, but it functions more similarly to a hotel. Some buildings even have restrictions on how long owners can stay there because their occupancy rate is over 70%. So they actually, because of the profits they've been making, they disallow owners from staying more than 2 weeks in their own property. So when you're buying real estate, you have to know these things. Like that's a clause that some people might overlook, and then they go and they attempt to live in or stay in their own condo, and they realize they can't. So you really need to know the lay of the land. You can't just go in there willy nilly trying to buy things.
Hey, Brent, real quick, if you go back to that leg to the Jenga,
Yeah.
the Jenga. Okay, where is this located, and then where is the?
This is in an area called Osu. So this is, I would consider Osu to be the equivalent to our maybe Georgetown.
Adams Morgan-ish, but yeah, it's kind of
like a Georgetown. Like if Adams Morgan and Georgetown had a baby,
right?
It would be Osu.
It's kind of like you can find some upscale living, but also that's kind of like where the nightlife is.
Yes,
and then
where a lot of businesses are located.
And then where are you taking the picture from? Where were you there?
I don't even remember the name of the restaurant. It was a restaurant.
Oh, it's a restaurant. Okay.
They say nobody ever swims in the pool. It's just for show.
I thought it was like a place you were staying. It's a restaurant with a pool. Okay.
Yeah, no. This is one of the houses out on the beach. So you're looking at this. This is a pretty sizable house. I mean, square footage wise, it might be on like 3,500 plus square footage located on the beach. This is us again at Pebby Beach Restaurant in Salt Pond. If you ever are in Salt Pond, please visit it. It's on the way to Cape Coast. This is us looking at another investment property where they were actually measuring to see, how long it is, longitude, latitude, and if it fits the needs of what we want to do if we were to invest on this property. Let's see. Was that
And so I mean, and the kind of reason we're going over this is we have experience. This is our kind of our diversification video. And we have experience in Ghana. We purchased land in Ghana. We have relationships with people in Ghana. We know other people that have purchased property in Ghana. And it was also like our first attempt at this failed miserably, like flat on our face. We lost money. Our first attempt to buy land in Ghana was a disaster. But from that, we learned how to do things, right? We learned, people say you learn best from your failures. Well, that was us. And so we kind of know how to move and maneuver in Ghana now. We understand the landscape. Brent much more than I. But that failure actually led to where we are now in Ghana, and we're extremely happy with our investment, which again is that beachfront property. And we know, like I said, we have friends that have bought property in Ghana too. Some actually have already moved there, and some are actually looking to move there. So this is just another investment diversification, if you will. If you're looking to do something outside the U.S., we know right now a lot of people are looking for either to relocate or to vacation or to again diversification, right? Maybe outside the U.S. I think Ghana, we know for a fact Ghana is a good investment because we're invested in it, and we're up 30 to 50% on our investment in a couple of years. We know other people that are as well. So just FYI, if you have any questions about this, contact us.
Yeah. And, we see the videos where people talk about getting scammed, and we see the videos where people are talking about craftsmanship, and the videos where, they're using, I think one said, rob Peter to pay Paul. Essentially what they're doing is sometimes they're building neighborhoods with the thought that as long as we get the money from the people who go in phase one, we can then build phase two. But what's happening is sometimes people don't pay all the money in phase one, and these contractors get stuck in phase two. And you really need to know which contractors have enough money to finish the project, even if nobody bought a unit. But it's not a scam. I mean, their thought is when they're entering these deals with people that they're going to be, upstanding on what they say and pay. And sometimes when they don't, it does affect builders. It wasn't necessarily a scam, but it was their model for how they were going to build out wasn't strong.
And I was about to say, the first time we went into it, when we failed on our first purchase, we were not scammed. Like we were not scammed. We dealt with an individual who mismanaged the project. There was lack of communication between the person we were going with and the builder. So it was a lot. I mean, that neighborhood eventually got built, or is still
no, it didn't.
Oh, it did not.
No, it didn't.
it did not. Okay, I thought the one. So the one we were buying into never got built.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I stand corrected. Yeah, it eventually did not get.
But I agree with what you said. It was mismanaged.
Right. It was. Yeah.
Also, too, you have to know how land works there, and there are multiple types of land. There's stooled land. I mean, things that we've never heard about, like stooled land. That's land that's actually normally managed or property of the king, or not the king, but the chief, the local chief. So who would know that? Like nobody from the States would know that. And this is also why you really need to talk to people who have experience on the ground there. So, in general, when you hear people say they're scams and all this, sometimes it's just mismanagement. Leon he hit it on the nose. Mismanagement is the word. And the people buying never asked the right questions. Like our first time, we didn't ask the right questions. And when we did, we were already into the deal. But I'll say this, we were smart enough to do the deal in a way that the loss to us was minimized. Where some people were full in and they lost like everything. And we just lost a small bit because of how we structured our deal just to figure it out. And, when you're looking at like Earn Your Leisure, if you are familiar with Samber City, this is over a 300-acre development going on in Ghana. And right now, I think they're only building about 30 acres of it. They still have 280 acres to go. In addition to that, there's another 100 acres that's owned by some of the same people in the Samber City deal. That's going to be a full-out golf course, 100-acre golf course community that's being built out. And so we know these people now. We have their we know them by name. They know us when we walk in. We're even involved in some of these projects. So, full disclosure, sometimes if you call us to get information on deals, we might get commission for it. But we're only looking at the deals that we know make sense, and we know that somebody coming from the American marketplace can understand and feel comfortable in. There is a lot of turmoil and uncertainty in the U.S. economy right now. This administration is not going to make it any better, is my thought. So I know for a fact there are a lot of people trying to figure out what's next, or where else can I invest? What else can I do with my money? You want to have diversification of investments. You want to even have diversification of bank accounts. Because now let's look at FDIC. Right now it's still intact, but who knows?
May not be tomorrow.
Yeah, in this economy, who knows? So is all your money in one bank? do you only own property in the U.S.? Do you have any international exposure? If you do, what other like licenses or requirements are there to have property and or bank accounts and or anything else in other countries? You need to know all these things. And it's not just this, okay, I know I can go buy property here and it's over. How do you pay taxes in that country? When is it required? What does an inspection look like in that country? Do they do inspections in that country? When we went to Morocco, we didn't realize that Morocco is a kingdom. And the king rules, literally. So you can have a complete deal, down payment I'm talking $100,000 plus, ready, put in somebody's hand for them to hand over the keys to a property, investment property to you. If the king or somebody in that kingdom wants the property and the king gives it approval, your deal is done. Hopefully you get your money back.
Right.
So, it's just a hopeful thing. So just in general, everybody, just understand we're talking about Ghana today, but what we're really saying is that there are other opportunities outside the US for people to invest. There are other ways to have your money grow. It's not a gloomy situation where it's like, if not the US, there's no other game in town. There is. But you need to educate yourself. You need to know how this game is played. We have a lot of information about investing in Ghana. If you are interested in investing in Ghana, I suggest you reach out to Leon or I, or of course, join IEA and we can talk about it in the platform. So, go to IEAnow.com or IEAmembers.com. Either one will lead you to us. Join, ask us the questions. You can also go to our Facebook group. Just search Investing Education Academy on Facebook. We should pop up. I'm pretty sure we will. Join the group. Let's talk about it. There are a lot of opportunities there, more than what this podcast can allow time for. You have to have an open mind. You need to have people on the ground, and you can definitely be successful in other markets than the U.S. So,
and I said last thing is better than what we learned from our first attempt. We just got to know how you have to know how to move in these different countries. And when I say move, I mean know the laws, know the bylaws, know the stipulations, know how real estate works, know how people work, know how fast is their business process. You just have to know the culture. And that's what we didn't know the first time, which we learned. And then, as Brent said, we now know how to flow in the country. We have a lot of contacts, we have a lot of resources, and we just know how to move in the country. If you do another country, Belize, Jamaica, whatever, just learn how. Just get someone on the ground that knows how to move in the country and that can guide you. Because going into these countries blind is almost guaranteed failure. So again, we know about Ghana. We know a lot about Ghana. Have a lot of contacts. But if you're looking to another country, just find someone in that country that you trust and that can help you move in that country.
Yeah, and our relationships are now like 3 years plus mature. So, these aren't people that we met yesterday or we don't know where they live. I mean, some of these people, we stay with them when we're traveling. So, the last picture you see up is a picture from the Earn Your Leisure Sanbar city that they're building out. This is the first phase. This actually picture was taken before even Troy Overshot from Earn Your Leisure have seen the property. They came to this actual exact location a week later after I had left. So if you want to see the whole video of a walkthrough here, again, contact us and we can show you the video. But these properties are selling condos, townhouses, single family homes, and some people are starting bidding wars on these properties. So getting in phase one, I'm sure. I mean, we can't make any guarantees. The market is the market, but this community will appreciate. And there are more communities. Heritage One. I recently bought an apartment out there. So just if you want information on Ghana, please contact us. Don't go in blind and don't try to do it from your couch in the US.
Right.
So we'll end with that. If you guys, Leon, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Just that we owe you two stock picks. We will put those in the membership community in a day or so. So look out for that.
Yes. Again, Ghana is an option. If you all want more information, let us know. We will get you as much information as we have. We have connections and we can actually get deals done. So we look forward to being useful. It's going to be interesting 4 years. So let's buckle in. Yeah. Let's buckle in and make some smart choices now so the stress is reduced throughout the time period. Have a great day, everybody.